Hi, I'm Dr. Secure, and today I am going to show you how to download and install Visual Studio 2022 so that you can start C programming. So I went to the visualstudio.microsoft.com/download site. You could also Google it. When you get there, you want to click on the button in the download section for free download underneath the community section. This will start downloading pretty quickly. And when it downloads, what you will want to do is go to your downloads folder. I clicked the little arrow up in the top right-hand corner. You could also go to your downloads folder by navigating to that. I'll show you how to do that here in just a second. You can access your downloads by clicking on the folder in the lower right-hand corner down here, clicking on that, and then navigating to this PC, and then double-clicking on downloads. You will see your Visual Studio setup. Double-click on that, and you'll get a little, do you want to make changes? Click yes. And then once that occurs, you will see your Visual Studio installer. Click continue and let that go ahead and install. This will take a few minutes, so I'm going to pause the video. Oh, never mind. I am not going to pause the video. It looks like it is already installed. Perfect. So now what we want to do is we want to select our workloads. Here's the installation guide that Microsoft provides for Visual Studio. So how I am determining which workloads I want to choose, I am looking at this documentation. So it tells you for Core C and C++ support, choose the desktop development with C++ workload. It includes the core editor, editing support, and the ability to open and edit code. So that's what we're going to select for right now. So here we're just going to click on the desktop development with C++, and we'll see all of these things are selected for us. We'll just click install. Now, what you'll also notice here, total space required, 10.4 gigs. So if you do not have that amount of space on your computer, or you're very close to like just barely having that amount of space on your computer, you may want to consider maybe doing a disk defrag or disk compression if you have a magnetic hard drive. So I should have that amount of space, so I'm going to install. And this will take a while. So while this is going, I am just going to pause this video, and when it's done, I will start from there. And I'll let you know how long it took. I'm thinking it's going to take about maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Once it's done downloading, you will see, oh, apologies, that took about 10 minutes. So once it's done downloading, you will get this sign into Visual Studio. I'm going to skip this for now. And then it's going to ask you to personalize your Visual Studio experience. So you could go in here, and we are going to be doing Visual C++. I know we're doing C, but we're going to use C++ for this and just change our extensions later. You can choose what way you would like it to look. I'm just going to leave it as dark, a little easier on my eyes, but you could also choose whichever one is better for you. I'm going to click Start Visual Studio, and now we're going through this. Hang on while we set up for first use. All right, great. So here we are. We have Visual Studio open. So here we're going to click Continue Without Code. So here, when you open it the first time, you're going to see a window that looks like this. There's a lot of good information here, so you can take some time and look through this and try to read up on things or figure some things out if you'd like, but it's not really necessary for right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close that out by clicking on the little X up there, and then I'm going to open, well, actually I'm going to go to extensions first, and I'm going to click on manage extensions. The extension that I want to pull up is the C++ compiler from Intel. So I'm just going to type C right in there, and the very first one that pops up is the Intel C and C++ compiler. So click install, and we're going to have that pop up in our file downloads. So I will open that up, and it will ask you, do you want this app to make changes? Click yes. So once you've clicked yes to allow it to install, you're going to get a box here that says, we're going to check your system. Great. So go ahead and click continue. And this should take just not very long. It's 25.9 megabytes, but I will let this kind of go through for a second. If it seems to be taking more than 20 seconds, I'm going to pause the video. I didn't need to. So now what we have is we have the what's included, great, perfect. Click I accept the terms of the license agreement and click continue. Then it's going to ask you, would you like to integrate with an IDE? Yes, you sure would. Microsoft Visual Studio 2022. So make sure that's selected. Leave the other box blank. Then click the little arrow down at the bottom right or bottom middle of your screen. You're going to have to consent to, let's see, can we do it without consenting? Let's try. I do not consent to the collection of my information. Oh, it's still running. So it wants me to exit Visual Studio. So I'll just exit that by clicking the little X button in the corner, and let's refresh that. All right, so we're installing. This installation is probably going to take a little while. So I'm going to pause this, and then when I come back, I'll let you know how long it took. This took about 15 minutes to install. Once it's done, you can click finish. If you want to look at the getting started guide, you can click on that checkbox, but we don't need to for this video. So I'm just gonna, once you've clicked finished, it will bring you to the Visual Studio installer and click launch. Once this is launched, click continue without code, and we will have a brand new installation of Visual Studio. So let's test it out and see how it works. Once we have Visual Studio open, once we click on it, it will bring you up to a screen that looks like this. We are going to create a new project, and we'll choose C++. As you can tell in this drop-down menu, there's no option for C. So we're going to choose C++ and then empty project. Click next, and then we're going to name it Hello World, and then click create. Once we have our project created, we can add a file to it. So right where it says Hello World, we can right click and then scroll down to where it says add, and then click new item. Here we're going to call it Hello World.c. So we'll want to take off this PP, which stands for C++. We just want C. So we'll erase the PP and then click add. Now we will have our helloWorld.c, which is where we're going to put our main program at. I've already typed this out, so I'm just going to Control V, paste it in there, and then click run. After it runs, you'll see a console window pop up and it'll say Hello World. So basically everything in between the quotes is what is going to type out, except for that /n. That /n stands for new line, which is just going to insert a blank line, which is what you see where it's right underneath Hello World. And that's it. You should be able to now create new projects and add new programs to your Visual Studio IDE.